The most successful people among us operate in very specific ways that set them up to win. They think a certain way and operate a certain way, and it impacts their outcomes and even influences the universe to deliver on their desires. These are codes of conduct, deep identity level standards that are a certain way of thinking, being, and showing up that high vibe women live by. I call them prosperity codes. And part of living in alignment with these prosperity codes is knowing at the core level what just doesn't work and what to let go of. So today I'm walking you through 7 common behaviors that bring you down, patterns to release, and then the codes to replace them with so you can elevate your energy and unlock the next level of your life. I'm Hilary Silver, former therapist turned master coach and founder of Ready for Love. We help high-achieving women become the most magnetic and powerful version of themselves so they can get everything that they want in love and in life. Okay, so there are ways of being that are so seriously low vibe that it actually affects your energy and therefore your ability to receive all the good things that you want in life and are actually working so hard to create. And while we all have moments where we aren't our best self because we're human, we don't want to stay low. So being aware of these 7 low vibe behaviors can be a mental cue, a reminder that if or when you fall into it, you can just simply and quickly course correct, make a mental shift or a behavior change. So prosperity code number 1, high vibe women don't complain without taking action. Things aren't always as we expect or want them to be, and it's okay to notice it. But just complaining doesn't do anything to resolve situations or circumstances. So it's really just a negative, low energy activity. High vibe women don't waste their energy on things out of their control. They either do something to resolve the situation when that's possible, rather than just complain about it, or they focus on what they can control, which is themselves, how they react, and their attitude about the situation itself. So if you find yourself saying the same thing over and over about your job, your relationship, your body, your schedule, your stress levels, check in with yourself. Are you complaining, naming the problem over and over and just being stuck in it? Or are you creating, finding a solution, or doing something about it, either physically and externally or internally, such as making peace with it and moving on? So here's the code switch. If you're not changing it or releasing it, stop rehearsing and reliving it. This next prosperity code builds on this focus on the solution. High vibe women don't engage in blame, excuses, or defensiveness. These are all behaviors that protect your ego in the short term, but they cost you your growth and your very being in the long run. Blaming always makes matters worse, whether it's who broke the thing or who messed up the thing or who started it, who was at fault, just doesn't fix the issue. So rather than cast blame and point the finger, the high vibe choice is to focus on the solution, fix the issue, and move on. So you've heard me say this before. High vibe people deal with problems, they don't dwell on them. I always say to my kids or my team even at work, I don't care who did it. Let's just clean it up. And by focusing on moving forward, we release all the negativity of the problem, because nothing will keep you stuck in life more than refusing personal responsibility and your own outcomes. And then on the flip side of this, high vibe women don't stay stuck in self-blame either. They simply ask, what is mine to own here, and move on. This is self-leadership at its best. Okay, number 3. This one can be a little uncomfortable to look at because it's deeply human. And if you've ever been through something painful, and we all have, this is a very easy place to land. But high vibe women don't live in victim energy or self-pity. If you've been hurt, disappointed, betrayed, abandoned. Your pain is valid, and you get to have your feelings and you get to grieve. But when we live in the story of our suffering and how we've been done wrong, when we identify as the person who had bad things happen to us, we unknowingly give our power away. Victim energy keeps you looping in the past. It disconnects you from your personal agency, and then feeling sorry for yourself can feel soothing in the moment, but it is a trap that leaves you feeling powerless. High vibe women know they are not defined by what happened to them. They're defined by what they choose to do with it. And they don't wallow in righteous suffering. They acknowledge their pain and then they rise from it. So if you find yourself replaying the violation and the hurt, or resenting others for moving forward, or quietly holding on to the struggle, ask yourself this: what am I getting out of holding on to this? And even more empowering, albeit challenging, this question: how did I potentially contribute to this situation? That is actually how you move forward. And this code switch, I promise you, is like night and day. Just watch how you become unstoppable and start getting more of everything you want. Okay, prosperity code number 4. High vibe women don't seek external validation. This one is sneaky because on the surface, it doesn't look like a problem. In fact, it often masquerades as ambition and achievement and doing your best. But underneath, it can be a deep hole in the soul, a chronic need to prove that you're enough, to be seen, to be acknowledged and witnessed. And this behavior can come out as people-pleasing and perfectionism and doing all things for everyone all the time, or even chasing one big goal after another, such as acquiring more letters behind your name, winning awards, or climbing the ladder. So here's the hard truth. If your worth is tied to how other people respond to you, you will always be in emotional debt. It will never, ever be enough. High vibe women do not outsource their validation. They internalize their value, knowing that their worth and their value comes from within. And that's what makes this so high vibe. It's a quiet, constant, deep inner peace and contentedness and satisfaction with yourself. So if you find yourself asking, do they like me? Did I do it right? What will they think? And then hoping someone notices your hard work, your effort, or your wins, just flip the script and ask, do I like me? Did I stay in integrity with myself? What do I think? And feel yourself letting go of caring what others think and celebrating your own damn self for all that you are. Okay, prosperity code number 5. High vibe women don't operate from a place of entitlement. This one can be a little uncomfortable to name, but it's definitely a game changer when you see it clearly. It doesn't always sound like I deserve this in a bratty way. It's a subtle belief that I'm owed something because I'm special. I'm special because I've suffered, or because I paid a lot, or because I tried so hard, or because I'm different. It's having that special snowflake syndrome, thinking that somehow you are deserving of something just because. But here's what high vibe women know. Pain does not entitle you to a payoff. Struggle does not earn you a shortcut. Effort is noble, but ownership is what moves the needle. They understand this core truth. You are worthy of everything you desire, but you are not entitled to it. There is a distinction there. So high vibe women take full responsibility for the results, and they don't expect guarantees, they don't place demands, and they don't expect special treatment just because. So if you catch yourself expecting special treatment, the love, the luck, the opportunity, the attention, pause and check in with yourself. Entitlement says, I should get this because. Empowerment says, I trust myself to create this because I know who I am. That's the code switch. You don't chase, you don't demand, you just align and you act from a place of wholeness and from a place of worthiness. Because high vibe women don't wait for life to hand them anything. They become the version of themselves who makes it inevitable. And this leads me to the next one. High vibe women do not avoid conflict. Nobody likes conflict, but high vibe women don't avoid it. Avoiding hard conversations might feel easier in the moment, but it does cost you. It erodes trust, damages connection, and chips away at your own self-respect. It looks like ghosting instead of communicating, hinting instead of just expressing, withdrawing instead of being honest, making excuses to not do something rather than saying no thank you, letting a friendship fizzle by avoiding the person rather than discussing how the relationship isn't working for you the way it is, even writing a bad review of a restaurant rather than ask them to just remake a dish that was cold. This is passive-aggressive behavior. You don't say how you feel, but you sure do make sure they feel it or even pay for it. High vibe women do not operate this way. They face the discomfort with courage. They don't manipulate, they communicate. They don't avoid, they address. And they don't punish, they express. And they own their part in all of it. The more you practice speaking your truth, the less scary it gets, I promise you. And the truth is, there is always a way to say what needs to be said. And when you come from a place of worth, integrity, and consideration of others, your words will likely land exactly how you intend them. And the conversation, however uncomfortable, is always so much better for both parties than all these other shitty alternatives. And finally, I love this one so much because I can actually be a target of the negative side of it. And I've worked very hard on myself to be totally unbothered when it does happen to me. High vibe women don't offer unsolicited advice. This is just a lack of self-awareness, and it often shows up in one sneaky behavior, telling other people how they should live, how they should do things, how they should act, who they should be. Sometimes it's masked as, I'm just trying to help, but really it's about control or of a discomfort with someone else's choices. So, for example, I get a lot of positive feedback from my clients and my audience. So thank you to all of you for all of that, the comments and the discussion in the YouTube comments or in your emails, because I do read them all. But occasionally I get people telling me what I should and shouldn't do. It's not professional to use swear words, or you shouldn't cuss, or you're a trained professional, you shouldn't be using bad language. Or people telling me how I should run my Ready for Love company, or what I should charge, or how I should do things differently. So here's the thing. There are like 4 million podcasts out there and countless YouTube channels. A high vibe woman who comes across my show and doesn't like something that I say can either overlook all those bits and just focus on the good of what I'm delivering, or just simply make a choice to find another channel or podcast. It makes perfect sense, right? This happens a lot in our parenting too. And as our kids become more centered in themselves, the best parenting backs off from unsolicited input and asks first, right? So the code switch here is that high vibe women don't impose their values or preferences on someone else, telling them how they should live. They stay in their own lane and offer wisdom, suggestions, advice, or feedback only when it's invited. And they recognize autonomy in others. They trust others to lead themselves and make their choices that are in their best interest. And understand that our preferences and values are our own, and we only offer our brilliant wisdom when asked for it. If you recognize yourself in any of these behaviors, don't judge yourself for it, because that's actually also low vibe. No one teaches us this stuff, and most of it is very subtle and quietly going on unconsciously for us. But I love making the covert overt, making the unconscious conscious. That allows us to be fully in control of our lives and living intentionally, to be the people that we want to be. So if you're ready to step into this high vibe version of you, start by grabbing my free video. This changes everything. It's short and it's powerful, and it's the energetic reset that you didn't even know you needed. The link is in the show notes and the description below. And if you want more on this subject, one of my favorite episodes is the 3 high vibe habits that upgraded my life. I'll put the link in the show notes, or it's here on the end screen right now. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.